So I want to show you my favorite teams, which are specific years of an NBA team. So the 2013 Spurs, the 2015 Warriors, and now the 2024 Celtics. Although game four I just watched against the Cavaliers was kind of atrocious. So they've got an asterisk next to them now. But they have had some very good efficiency. We talked about with their shot chart last week. And they've also developed a lot of the improvisation and ball movement that really gets me excited about basketball, and it's fun to talk about and demonstrate for you guys to see. So I'm going to actually share these three YouTube videos I found of these specific teams. I'll share it on our course platform, so you can just click and go watch the whole video yourself. I don't want to spend my time watching all of it because I would get long-winded about it, but I want to show you just a play or two from each team and see what I'm talking about. And what I really take away from all this was not the scripted offense, right? They would not, no coach would set this up and tell the team to try and run this because it's crazy. And it would very rarely work out based on how the defense was playing. This is group improvisation where all they did was read what the defense was giving them and come up with a possible solution. And they just kept attacking until they multiplied an advantage of space into an advantage with angle, into an advantage of great timing, and they added a quick decision to it. And suddenly all those things stacked up to where, again, the defense just had no chance. Like, look at this poor guy 3-on-1. There was no way for he was going to stop that play. There was too many possibilities. And, whether they're inside, outside, drive and kick, drive again, pass the dunker, floater on the baseline, like all this stuff is based on just simple operating principles. And this is where, Greg Popovich has had such a long run of success as an NBA coach. Is I think this is very deeply ingrained as his approach. We're not just making extra passes to make extra passes. We're drawing defense and then completely demolishing them by making one more play that gives us a greater multiplied advantage. And again, the usual outcome here is that we get such free shots that there's nobody nearby to stop us. We're getting uncontested layups, as we talked about last week with our shot selection scorers formula points per shot value. Let's see the Golden State Warriors, more recent history for you younger peoples. Again, really good drive, kick, hockey assist, extra passes, right? We are swinging it until we're wide open. And we started with attacking the middle. We're not just passing around the outside like your middle school coach would tell you against zone defense. We are penetrating the middle and we're finding holes in the defense all over the place. And the ball does not stick. Right here is probably the longest sticky point where Curry had it, waited for a ball screen. Most of the time, the ball is a hot potato. It's moving. Here it's sticking again. It's moving. It's passing. It's kicking. It's hockey assist. And then it's mid-range jump shot. There was nobody home to stop him. Shot fake, pass, cut, extra pass, kick, shot. Right? They used very little dribbles. Klay Thompson's kind of the famous one of the Warriors for that. But they are making passes and they're catching on cuts as if it was a drive and kicking after a cut, which works just fantastic. You can see some screen away actions, even some of our playmaker and split cut actions we worked on. They are just moving everywhere all the time, and they're not taking really tough shots contested over mid-range defenders. They are creating an advantage, making that defender have to stop them, and then they're finding the wide open three or the wide open cutter to a layup. And this is just the most fun basketball, not only to watch, but also to play. You compare this to what your team is more likely doing with set offense and really scripted plays. These guys are freestyling and having a great time, and they're absolutely demolishing whatever the defense gives to them. Let's see one more with the Celtics. This is much more recent history. Little ball screen, but the roller catches and kicks. So again, it's like a cutter drive. When Horford catches it in the paint on a roll, defense collapses. He's finding the shooter. extra hockey assist, drive, extra swing, kick. Tatum was the one. I actually want to go back to that because, all right, it's coming, swinging around. Cornette, Pritchard, screen, swing to Tatum. Now, right here, Tatum makes the decision, which I wish he would make more often, which is he's got 1-on-2. He's got 1-on-3. He kicks it. He could have taken his fadeaway jump shot from mid-range over two defenders, which in game 4, he took way too many of, as well as Jaylen Brown. He kicks it, they swing it, Drew Holiday drives it, he gets it back. And now what is he shooting? Wide open, uncontested, three-point shot. That is like a layup for most NBA players. And if you work at it, it can be the equivalent of a layup for you. But not taking this contested mid-range out of a spin move, fade away over two defenders, is the decision that makes the difference for the whole Celtics offense. Now, this one I want to use as a quiz question. I'm going to ask you this when you get to the court. If you've made it this far, I will know. Pass to Porzingis from Drew Holiday. What should Holiday do right now? That's the question. We're going to see what they do. It's my favorite way to say they shouldn't have done. It's a do play. They end up with a kick and a swing, but what he should have done after that first pass is what I want to highlight your attention on. So again, I'm not going to watch all through this. These are my best clips that I could find, short 10-minute videos that have all of the highlights of ball movement for these three specific teams. So I'll post these links, like I said, in the course so you guys can access them and go watch more if you'd like to. So summarizing, the 3 limitations times 4 advantages gives us 12 different combinations. So we think about, we are working on 3 limitations in our practice to focus us on how to create those 4 different advantages. We've got really 12 combinations. This is a high level. Like, you can get way down in the weeds of details of what options you're limiting and what space and what time limitations you're putting on. But if you structure your own practice and you play for teams that are thinking this way, coaches that are thinking this way, we're trying to use limitations in practice to get us better at creating advantages. And one thing I didn't really mention is the focus aspect, specifically on options. I like to think about, which maybe we'll talk about more next week with decision making. But if you think about very limited focus, so like you're scattered across like any skill, or like we got 7 options, then you're only going to get very few reps at each of those 7 options, assuming you're using them equally. Whereas if you limit your options to 1, you're going to get 7 times more reps on that one thing, and therefore you're going to get better at it. Second thing was our team chemistry, trying to create simplicity times anticipation, or the ability to anticipate what your teammate's going to do. When you get those 2 working together, it's a shortcut to team chemistry. You don't need 7 years of playing with the same group of guys. You need simple rules and the ability to anticipate how they're going to make decisions based on those rules that allow you to anticipate. And that leads us again to my ideal standard of group improvisation. What we just saw great examples of in the NBA is freestyle offense based on simple rules that allows us to multiply advantages until we can demolish any team defense and really take whatever shot we want whenever we want, because they're so far behind they can't catch up. So that's it for week 11. I look forward to next week to wrap up with decision making, maybe blow your mind with how good you could get at decision making. That's it. I'll see you on the court soon.